back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing Smile. Directed by Parker Finn and starring Sosie Bacon, Caitlin Stacey, Jesse T. Usher and Kyle Gallner. A doctor at a psychiatric ward finds herself dealing with some sort of smiling entity. I'm being extremely vague with that synopsis because I don't want to give the game away. But before we go any further, please be a dear and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really does make all the difference to this channel, and we thank you if you do. Yeah, no beard. I know, I look weird. I look like a 3-year-old. I'm sorry. It'll grow back. Let's get into what I liked about Smile. I thought this had an absolutely fantastic opening scene. It immediately gets you on board with what's happening and intrigued as to where it's going to go, and also calms any concerns you might have had that this is going to be a rubbish watch. No, it's pretty well made actually, with some really nice performances throughout. It's nicely written, there's a great soundtrack to it as well. I also thought the gore was really good in this movie. It's not too heavy-handed and way in your face, but there is just enough of it pitted through the movie to make you feel uncomfortable and squirm around in your seat. And it does look pretty convincing too. I really enjoyed the progression of the story. It built really nicely with an interesting mystery with solid spooky moments pitted throughout. It doesn't rush through it and it doesn't exclude building the characters up and the world around them, but it also didn't get bogged down in it either. But sadly, I do have a fair few cons for the film as well. The longer the movie goes on, the less compelling I found it to be. The mystery really isn't all that mind-blowing, and it definitely feels inspired by other horror movies of old that are much better than this movie. I thought the movie did a great job with pacing up to a certain point. There's somewhere around the 3/4 mark where this just sort of slammed the brakes down and it really moves at a snail's pace for a solid half an hour. Can't really say I was scared throughout the movie either. I know that I have quite a high threshold for this sort of thing, but I don't really think it was because of that. I think it's because the movie only really has jump scares to offer, rather than a genuinely solid payoff. And it's not that the jump scares are lazy, there's actually a fair few in there that are effective and they made me jump as well. But it's the fact that it's the only trick the movie has. That's when it becomes repetitive and almost predictable. And similar to the plot being taken from other better movies of old, some of the jump scares are taken from better older movies as well. It makes it feel a little bit lazier than it actually is, because there is a lot of good things going on here and a lot of good ideas as well. I just wish the movie expanded upon those original ideas rather than keeping its seatbelt on and taking from the best. It might just be me, but this film sort of felt like it should have come out in the late 2000s, in that batch of horror movies that we had, like Drag Me to Hell. It feels very much in the same camp as those sort of movies, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. They're not great films, but Drag Me to Hell can be a fun throwaway popcorn flick for Halloween. And that's sort of how I feel about Smile as well. So I'm going to give Smile a 5 out of 10. This was an okay spooky watch to get me in the Halloween spirit. It was a hell of a lot better than I was expecting. The trailers really didn't do it any justice whatsoever. But unfortunately, the heavy reliance on jump scares just started to grate on me a little bit too much, as did the lack of originality. But with all that being said, give it 5 years and I can see this movie being a regular mention and pop up for Halloween movie recommendations. I may not have given it the highest score, but I am still recommending it to you. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and please do hit the comment section as well. Have you seen Smile? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.